Hey guys, I want to do a quick review on this D&D Essentials Kit. I picked it up because it had options for 2 to 6 players from level 0 all the way up to about level 6 is what they kind of want you to be in this, but you don't have to have any characters made. It'll show you how to do that in here. I'm just going to do a quick run through of what the box comes with. First, you got your box and it's got pretty good art all the way around on the back, and it shows you some D&D Beyond stuff. It shows you what the set includes here, and it was $24.99, but I actually picked it up, and I believe on Amazon it was a lot cheaper. I can't really remember what I paid for it, but I'll try to get that in the description here if I can get it open one-handed. I'm using my cell phone because my GoPro's dead. Anyways, open it up. First thing you see, you get comes with a set of dice. Notice you got 4d6, 2d20, and a couple other 4-sided die. There's a 10-sided die. There's 2 10-sided die, 8 d8. But yeah, it gives you a set of dice right out of the box, so you don't have to have anything. You can literally just go buy this and start playing. It gives you the Dungeon Master's Adventure Guide, and here it shows the basics of running a game from zero. So basically, it tells you the role of the dungeon master. Anybody in your group could be the dungeon master. They just have to get this guide here and kind of it walks you through about what stuff is. It does flavor text, and it gives you like a map of things that your players could run into that they can't see, and it shows you some things about different character options, running different characters, and then it starts your adventure, and it shows you about the town of Phandalin. It tells you little things about it, gives you some flavor text that you can tell your characters and stuff, and basically just it tells you how to run the game. In the back there's some sample monsters and stuff like that. It's really neat. On the back side here, there's a map key, and it shows you on your maps, your dungeon maps, you have different things in here. Well, it shows you that stuff on the back, so that's pretty cool. It's a pretty neat little adventure. I've only read probably the first chapter, the first town of Phandalin, and it'll walk you through if you've never been a dungeon master before. It's a good handy guide to have. The next thing is a box for your cards. Now, a lot of D&D things like this is kind of geared towards brand new players, and then brand new DMs, brand new everybody, and they understand that. I'm gonna try to open that up. It's not opening, but they understand that you're not going to remember everything. You're not going to know everything about the game, so they've come up with these handy little cards about initiative, who has the highest initiative, what order people go essentially. And then it gives you, you can give your characters these that say if they're knocked prone, you can, I don't see if you can see that, but they're perforated, so you can tear them up into little cards. But it shows you, you can hand this to your character if they're unconscious or knocked stunned or whatever. And then on the back, it kind of tells you what you can do, during that condition. So, those are pretty cool things to have. And this is, more things that you can be afflicted with, I guess. And then it tells you stuff on the back. And then here are some NPCs or non-player character cards. It kind of gives your characters a visual of what these people look like, and that's kind of part of it. And it also helps you pick out what kind of character you think should play on, if you're into that kind of role playing, giving your characters and your people that you're playing with like a real good feel for the game. And it tells you on the back what kind of personality they have and how it's ideal, how they want to bond, and et cetera, et cetera. So that's pretty neat. That's something cool to come with. I hadn't seen that. And, I've only been playing Dungeons and Dragons, very casually. So it's not like I'm heavy into that stuff. But I do think that's really cool to have. And again, you have your magic items and your potions. And if you give your character something, they can have that. And again, more magic items, more magic items, more magic items. And these are quests. So when you send your group on a quest, they typically write it down in a quest log. In your D&D manual here, there's several different quests that you can send your players on. And once you do that, you can hand them these, and basically it tells them what they're going to be doing. So, they'll talk to certain non-player characters, and it'll tell you what the 50 gold points and all that stuff that the reward is, so they can choose to go on that or not. And that's basically like the bulletin board of the town, and it lists those in various times of the gameplay. Then you got your DM screen. It it opens up, so I can't get this one-handed. I'm doing this in the bedroom because everybody else is watching TV in the living room. But it kind of sets up a screen so you can have your notes and your guide and all that stuff here. But it also comes, first thing, it's pretty cool. It's got a bunch of pretty cool art on the front side where the characters can see it or the players can see it. But on the inside, it gives you like little hints of how to do combat, and it gives you little guides and stuff where you can remember certain rules that you might not have down pat. And that's really handy to have, especially if you're a new dungeon master. And then here is the players map. So this is the map you will give your players. You have a similar one in your guide here, but they don't have certain things that you have in there. So say they're walking down a trail or something, and they'll run into like an encounter. And so it's pretty neat. It's full. It's the Sword Coast of Neverwinter. Can't remember the name of the map. Oh my gosh. It's the Sword Coast of the Forgotten Realm, I'm assuming. But you have different things to do on that map that your player characters can run into. And on the flip side, you have the Phandalin map that you can tell your player characters what they can go visit the inn or the town master's hall, etc. There's different things for them to do in town, and so that's for them to use while they're playing. And then you have your rule book. Your player characters will need to know these. Basically how to create your character. It's a smaller version of the player's handbook. It's a lot of it's cut out because it's not necessary in this small adventure, but this is kind of like a teething adventure to see if you and your friends like Dungeons and Dragons. It shows you how to play, the core rule sets, and then it goes in to help you create your characters. You have humans and classes of bards, and it's really neat that way. And then you have your different magic spells. And then it shows you the actual playing of the game, how if you're in combat and stuff like that happens. You've got quite a bit here of the player's handbook, and for the price of this, you get a lot. And so it's there's some sidekicks that you can pick up and such. It's really Essentials. It's basically the Dungeons and Dragons Lite. But you can use this as your characters develop and just full go into Dungeons and Dragons. And then in the bottom of it, you have 2 or 3 sets of these character sheets that you can fill out. It's got all your names, class level, and all your attributes and stuff that you can go through, pick up. And then what I find cool is at the very back, it's showing you, hey, welcome to Dungeons and Dragons. It shows you the starter set that you can also buy, and then your player's handbook, your monster manual, and your dungeon master guide. Basically, these 3 are the books that you will pick up to run a campaign and play Dungeons and Dragons. I know a lot of people think it's like an actual board game, but it's more of like a storytelling. So, you've got all these different stories that you can pick up, and different, guides of monsters that can expand. And then you can, have all these quests and campaigns that you can go on. It's really neat. But you can, scan these. I'm not going to do that because my phone's going to pick it up right now. But, there's 50% off the digital version of the player's handbook because basically you got half of it here. Boom, 50% off, and you got one on your phone or computer or whatever. But so far, I haven't really read too far into the adventure, but I think it should be a pretty good start for anybody that's new to playing Dungeons and Dragons. I picked it up because I've got two kids that are, they're new to Dungeons and Dragons, and so I don't want to jump them off in the campaign that I've never been able to read or run or whatever. And this is easing me, and this is also going to ease them into the Dungeons and Dragons world. So for the price, I think it's a pretty good deal. It's cheaper than the Player's Handbook, cheaper than the Dungeon Master's Guide, just so you can get your teeth about and see if you like playing the game or not. All right, that's my review of or a quick rundown of the D&D Essentials Kit. I'm going to give it a thumbs up, and I'm going to put more on this in the future of, what it actually plays like, and, how much fun we had during the play. And you can add stuff to it or leave stuff out. It's all about storytelling as a group. That's the whole game. All right, guys. Bye.